Good morning. Uh, I've been away for a while because of certain, must say, domestic needs or my own personal needs. I took a sabbatical of about 2 months because I changed my my job situation a bit. Uh, but I have this. Uh, I will always come back to the learning and teaching English language and finding a connection between the English language and my own language, which is Malayalam Sanskrit. So today's word is it's a word with a lot of derivatives in English. It is called parivrajaga. Vra. Vra means somebody who goes around, or something which goes round, something which do not go round, something which gets distorted, like orai, something which but the primary meaning is not just going around. That is a secondary meaning. The primary meaning is protect, give protection. Protection means defense, and also be aware. Where. The Proto-Germanic root is ver, W-E-E-R. W-E-E-R, H is also there. H is in the beginning. Where. It is from the throat, where. Where is where, aware. So it's what are the basic roots of English language? Basic roots of many languages, but I know my language and also a little bit of English. So that's why I said it's a very commonly used, very wide word, and a word of great importance. Vra in Sanskrit, but in Sanskrit and Proto-Germanic, vra, but it is it becomes many things more. As we go along, we will see what's happening. First, primary meaning is to cover. Cover means protect. Cover. So cover is the primary one. The primary words I will tell you that the cover words, all the cover words, or the uncover words. Then the be aware or on the guard. Guard, ward, all thing. Everything has come from this root. Vra. Parivrajagan, those who goes around, renouncing the world. That is a old concept, Hindu Buddhist concept. The meaning is very close to that. So I will not cover up. There are many words. There'll be over 200 words in English language from this, but I'll cover something interesting words I'll go through. So coming to the first meaning of protection or covering, I said cover. Cover is the thing. One word is curfew. In that, see, the word cover is actually COVER or CO. You can say COER, but sometimes it becomes a little different. That's how you you cannot notice it in a common language. So one word is curfew. Curfew is a military language. In the sense that you have a curfew when you want people to cover it's cur is cover your few means fire. That you put the fire on in the evening or put the light on in the evening, because this is to avoid being discovered by your enemies. That's why curfew. Evening covering of the fire is called curfew. Then the cover itself, I said, the Latin is co-op erere, to cover over, to co-op every day. Then the cover can become covert. Covert means you are doing things in a covert state without the scrutiny of others. That's called covert. It's a covert operation. It's a covert operation, covert thing. And you can open the cover also. Like for example, you have an aperitif, means apovere. Apovere means you open the cover. Apovere. Apovere were cover. Okay, I'll leave that word. Then so say aperture. Aperture is you cover your something so that you take away the cover of something so that you have a glimpse of what's happening outside. Aperture or a small hole or something. Aperture. Aperture. Of course, there are discover. There needs no explanation. Discover means this means take away cover. You take away the cover and you come to the light. That discover. You come to knowledge. Discover something. And see, Ka in Germanic is more commonly referred to Germanic, and also some. The Germanic word is were only, but sometimes it is gavar, becomes gavar, and gavar is actually were when it went to the Romance languages like French, it became gavar, and it became other words like garage. Garage means a covered place for whatever cars and all those things. And garment, cover for your body. Garment, cover over the garment. And garret is actually it's others called a turret. Turret means watchtower, where you watch for, be aware of that this thing. You give a protection to your place. You have a tower. Olden times you have all these fort and they have turrets or watchtowers. So many watchtowers around. That's a turret. And garrison is a defense. Garrison town means a town where a lot of military personnel are there. Garrison is like garret, garrison, garret. And there are two words. One is warranty. Warranty means, you are giving protection. Same word when it became, it was warranty is a typical Proto-Germanic word, which is an Old English word also, warranty. But the Franks are a Germanic tribe from France, who invaded and conquered the British Isles. And then for them, the war is gua, as I said, ga, like garment. So they will say guarantee, G-U-A, guarantee. So the British adapted it, but they were forced to adapt it, something like that. So warranty is something like guarantee. So almost the same thing. Then cover can also become cur. I said cover becomes covert and curfew, C-U-R. So it can become cur also, K-E-R. And then it became kerchief, to cover your head. Chief means kaput. Chief means your head. The head person is called a chief, head person. Same thing in science, there is something called operculum. Oper means operir. Operir means cover. Operir, cover. Then opposite of cover is over or overt. Open, overt. Covered, overt. Covered means closed. Overt is open. And when you make an overture, what we are doing is you make an aperture. I said aperture, a small hole, for the other person to come in. So overture, you make an overture. And overture in business is OVER, over, TURE. Overture is a business proposal, an introductory business proposal. And of course, you can warn somebody. Warn is warning. Giving a warning. It is both a defense as well as being aware of things. Protect people. Warn, protect. It's protect. The main idea is protection. Ra is protection. Of course, there are two main meanings. One is Ra is protection awareness. The other one is going around. Then later on there is one more I can add to it. There is one more I'll tell lastly. And main meanings are, one is protection awareness, and the last one is going around. Going around becomes very weird. Weird is actually a word from this one. Weird. It's very weird. Going around is very weird. Of course, from war is not from this. War is different thing, but warranty is from this one. Then there is a word called warren. A warren of houses means WARN. Warren means a place where you have a housing called as something protected with protective walls and warren. A piece of land enclosed. Generally, it is used for breeding horses and things like warren, a piece of land. So warren houses also you can say, like housing colony. And WEIR, weir, it's actually pronounced as weir. It's actually an enclosure, just means an enclosure, weir. But it can become so many things. Weir becomes an enclosure for bird nest, weir. Things like that. Then avant-garde. Avant-garde means advanced God. I said God is from just word. It's a romantic conversion of romance conversion of Germanic war is God. So avant-garde means in front. Avant means French is avant is those who don't know the rudiments of French, they will know. There is avak. This is avak or avant. Avant means front. Avant-garde. Then award is a judgmental thing. It used to be judgmental, but later award means you you think about something and give prize to somebody because he deserves it. Initially it was sometimes you give award punishment, but later on took on the meaning of award, giving something which is useful. I mean, which is money or a prize, things like that. And beware is, of course, be on your guard. A proper name in European proper name Edward, or a British proper name Edward. Ed means wealth. Yard actually, EAD, wealth. And word is guardian. Word, always a God. What is God? And God is guardian. Guardian. And where means something you protect. Where, W-A-R-E, where. It's an object of care, but sometimes you sell that object of care, then it becomes where. The seller showed as wares, W-A-R-E-S, where. Like that, there are many words in English. Software, hardware. Then when you give a regard, we can sometimes it is under reverence also. Same word, regard and reverence. But reverence is more, what should I say? You are more obliging. Regard is also obliging, but reverence means you are giving a lot of respect. Also, respect. Panorama means aware because or also orama. So panorama means you're seeing. That become actually panorama is seeing something. Pan means a distant vision of an area is panorama. Panorama. Orama means sight. Then there is a medical word called pylorus. Pylorus is pyle is actually gate. Pyle, pyle. I think pyle. And oros means just like orama in panorama. Oros means so pylorus is an area between the stomach and the proper gut. So it is supposed to be looking over the gut. That's why it's called pylorus. Then all the directions you get what? That means you are aware you are going that way, forward. You are aware that you are going back, going frontwise. Then rearward. Like that. Then when you revere somebody, it is more than regard, revere. Same thing, aware, revere. It's more than when you reward somebody also, you give him something which you think you should give it to him. So reward something. And steward means one who protects the sty. Sty is where the horses are kept. It's seen in big households in England, I mean in the UK or whatever. They have house stables. It's called other sty also. Pig sty, man. The usual thing is pig sty, but this thing stable is also a sty. So steward means somebody who looks after the horses. A very important post those days for the British lords. And vanguard is just like avant-garde. Van becomes avant means vanguard. And ward is guard, warden, wardrobe. What does it mean? Where you keep your ward, protect your robes. Wardrobe means a big shelf for keeping your robes called wardrobe. Vary. Very. But these are some of the protective and the awareness words for divide from vra. Sanskrit vra, Germanic, Proto-Germanic, Sanskrit common, but the little different in Greek. In Greek, vra became air for some reason. It's called Airine. That became air. I'll come to the last part. Vra, when we come to vra, there are, it's a world. Actually, world is somewhat, something like, even the world is man's world, because it was man's world before. It is Veraldis, or the day of the man, it's world. But it's all derived from the vra, world, anniversary, a word. Then, and also when things go bad, it comes awry, twisted, awry. Awry means it's not going like that, it's coming back, awry. So a lot of things which comes back, it's also round and round. So where vra, like controversy. Opposite of the normal thing. Versy is the normal thing. It's because it's going around, completes the round. But as controversy means you're going opposite the round. Controversy. And converge means you're converging, converging. And diverge, dis plus vergere, verge, or vergere. Divert, evert, evert, extroversion. It's all version of thing, version of that. Version means what? Version means life. Version, this version, the world, and introvert, invert. Take it inwards is called invert, introvert, and reverse. Words means it goes round and round, whereas prose means your just goes in one direction. Prose. It's also going, but only goes in one direction. Prose. The verse is different. Verse is this thing. Reverse. Perverse. Perverse means you're going away from your conversation is perverse. Conversation of words. And another name for perverse is peevish. Peevish means you are very obstinate. Obstinate means another word for peevish. Means you do only your thing. That is perverse. Perverse pervert means somebody is somebody who compels others to go from the religious duty. Pervert. And prose I told you. Then these words and perverse, there are two channels for words. Then it's called a raphe. Because raphe is a stitch which stitches two things. Raphe is actually a stitch. It's not a common word, but generally medical term is the raphe. Raphe in median raphe. Median raphe is we say in the brain. Median raphe. Then rhapsody. Rhapsody means you are stitching. Actually, raphe means something stitched together. Two divergent things together. For example, there are two lobes in the brain. There's a median raphe, which is stitched together. And from that comes a rhapsody. Rhapsody means musical composition stitched together by variety of musicologists or musical sounds. It's called a rhapsody. RH. And this raphe is also RH, not RFE. RH, this thing, throat, this thing is there, ha is there, like the original word, rhapsody. And rhombus, RHOMBS. Rhombus means it's a quadrilateral, oblique, not quadrilateral, oblique equilateral parallelogram. Parallelogram, equilateral, all sides together same. It's oblique also. It's supposed to be a magician's circle. It's otherwise called a magician's circle. And even the common word ribald comes from var. But there the meaning of var is different. I don't want to say it, but it's slightly abnormal. Ribald means somebody who's, we say, he leads not a resolute, he lives a completely dissolute, dissolute life. That's called ribald. And sinistrose. Sinistrose means something which goes leftwards. Sinister actually come from the left. The left things are supposed to be bad. That's how we get the word sinister. So sinistrose. Stalwart means a person who is very resolute. So stalwart means, stal means stay. Word means he stops his round. he stops the round for many other people also. That's why it becomes stalwart. Stalwart. And subvert. Subvert, go under the thing and then reverse it. that subvert. And tergiversate is tergum is back. So back is front. Tergiversate used to be tergiversate means somebody who goes against religious ethics used to be say is tergiversating. It's all related to irreverence to religion. But that's how language. That's how language is the old thing. Religion is associated with the language, and transverse means across, where you're turning. The other thing is turning across to you is called transverse, and uh, somebody you revere, somebody you think you're worthy. What does it mean? Worthy. Where is valuable. How does it become valuable? Worthy, because it is opposite to you. so it is equal to you. That's how it becomes worthy. Worthy is also something which goes around, but it is opposite to you and it becomes worthy. Something reverberate means it strikes back. It means again, verbate. It again goes around against you. And I said ribald, stalwart, subvert, tergiversate, transverse, universe, the world as one, universe, the world is also going around, but it's a man's world. It used to be, but the man's world became the world, then it became the universe. The conceptual change happened. Then but the word is also used for many worship. Word going around is also worship. World is world, like world, worship. And the plants used for worship is called verbena. Not vegetables, but plants. Plants used for, we all use vegetables, fruits like for worship. But in Europe, they use plants for, like, there are 2-3 plants are there. Laurel, I'm not very familiar. Myrtle, I know. Myrtle, I know as a name. Myrtle, Myrtle, myrtle. And then it became, the word became a worm. Worm in the original sense was anything which goes like this. Used to have worm. It included snakes, also fish. Also is worm. Worm. And WORM, worm, or you can say worm, whatever you like. And from there, so many words are there. Like vermeil, it's a bright red color. Vermeil, like vermilion. Vermilion means vermilion is something kunguma. Vermeil, actually, kunguma comes from a plant, but vermeil used to come from a small worm. That's why vermeil. VERMEIL, vermeil. Vermicelli, like worm. Vermicelli is an Italian dish. Vermiform, like a worm. And vermin means moth, worm, etc. Generally, we say there are these. Vermin means animals which are very, very bad, or we classify animals according to human imagination. Do you think worms are bad? Why worms? Worms are not bad. So then, so a lot of words are there from worm. And versatile means somebody who goes round and round. I mean, he is very versatile. He is very efficient in many fields, called versatile. You say versatile. And verse, I said verse means it goes round and round. Prose means goes in one direction. Prose is prosaic. And versus is life. Huh? Prosaic in life. And somebody said versus. The human vertebra is also from ver, because vertebra, in the sense that it helps us turn. That's why vertebra. Vertebra. Vertex means the apogee. I mean, the most prominent part of anything is a vertex. Vertex. But vertigo is not related to vertex. Vertigo comes from the head, but it is actually a sensation of going around and round. Vertigo. Again, ver comes from ver, going around and round. I said verbena, I said plants used for worship. Another name is vervain, V-R-V-A-I-N. I mean, those are interesting words. You can learn this one. And my time is going to go off, so I finished fast. And I said where is going around, but warp is not going around. Warp is a twist in the, or a change in the direction of the turning. That's why we say there is a space-time, bending is called a warp. Warp, space-time. There's a bend in the going around is warp. It's warped means it's not proper. Warped. Something is warped means W-A-R-P. Warp. Similarly, weird. Weird means something which appears. It's weird sisters. Means those who are, there are weird sisters, are several are there. Just like in Indian mythology, we have all these Rakshasas, things like weird people having power to turn fate and things like fates. It's fate. Weird means chance, fortune, things like that. Weird means it's turning. It turned into weird. But it became a very popular word in English. Weird. Weird means it's not, something which appears very grossly improper is called. Weird is, it's weird. Became a very 20th century word. It became very popular in the 20th century, perhaps. By the way, the worm in Sanskrit is called, it used to be called, Proto-Indo-European Vrmi. Sanskrit is Krimi. There is some phonetic shift is there, Krimi. And worry is also same thing, but worry is actually, you are like something like, the action of worrying is something which catches your throat. It's called worrying, worry. But it became a very common word. So like weird became very, bad words become very popular, Like weird, worry became very popular. And it became a word like something like worries you. It annoys you. It's bother. Another word is bother, annoys. Mental stress. By 1822. That means last century itself became popular. Worth, I already told you, because you think something is worth because it's opposite to you and it's equal to you, so it's worthy. And it's all self-centric. Even the going around is self-centric. The wrangle means again to dispute. It's like weird becoming weird and all that. Wrangle to dispute. Wrangle is just like turning, but dispute something. Wrap means you put something on. Round something. It's wrap. W-A-R. Very common Germanic word. Wrap. Wrap up means finish. It's a word for finish, wrapping up something. Wrap itself became a noun. Wrap of something. And wrath means anger. Wrath. Like weird. This is a Germanic suffix. Ra is going around. So when you lose your this mental ability, become angry, it's called wrath. And a wreath is something, put around, made, a garland made around. It's called wreath, W-R-E-T-H-E. I usually give it to people who are dead. I mean, it's put on the rear, wreath is put. And runge is an instrument for doing this thing. I like wrist, W-R-I-S-T. Wrist comes from vra. Rusting something from somebody. The pulling like doing fighting with rusting. Rustle also, fighting. Rustle also from this. Wriggle, wriggle like this. And ring, twist, and a lot of words are there. Wrinkle. See, rise. Vra is not Ra. Vra is a Germanic, Proto-Germanic and Sanskrit. Proto-Germanic word. So it's very English. Germanic. Wrist, like wrist. Rith. And wrong. Wrong means twisted, crooked. Wrong is not like going around. Wrong means it's going around, but it got twisted. Like orai. Orai is wrong. Same thing, rock, rai. See, then the word when it went to Greece, it became something lifting up. It's called Aerin, A-E-R-I-N, air. And then these words contributed to a lot of our vessel, this vessels in the body which carry blood. It became because the original concept was the vessels in anatomy. The Greeks dissected and they found that they saw this channel. They thought it carries the air, what we breathe. So that's why the air became like artery. Here, artery, A-R-T-E-R. A-I-R became A-R-T-E-R. Why? Arterial. Aorta means something's hanging there. That's why aorta may lift it up. The aerin means lift up, because the quality of air is lifting up. So aerin. So I am not going to the details of it, but in Greek there is a variation in the conversion of the original vra. Proto-Indo-European is vra, or W-E-E-R, ver. Proto-Indo-European. But Proto-Germanic vra, Sanskrit vra, but in like Greek, some difference is there. That's how you get the original Proto-Indo-European root gave rise to air also, arterial also, aorta also. Thank you very much.